Welcome to Just the Tip Tuesday. My name is Garrick.
My name's Greg.
He just came back out of his phone. Welcome.
Sorry, I just got distracted.
You know where you are? You in country?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
I do. So what are we talking about today?
Five common myths that first-time homebuyers have, designated by Freddie and Fannie, which are the governing bodies of mortgage.
The governing bodies of mortgage? What does that mean?
It's like they don't
Sorry.
touch it. Well, let's talk about our
That's so
mic.
nice.
We're down to
Touch
one.
it.
We're down to one mic.
Our tech team sucks.
Tom, Rosie, who so commonly gets praise, his technology's failed today. So we're using one mic.
You know what's going to actually happen? This could be a benefit because we're not going to interrupt each other. I'm going to actually have to wait till you're done talking, and which is going to be more of a challenge for you, but I can handle it.
Yes, that's true. That's true. All right, Tom, what are these 5 myths?
Myth number 1. It is a bad time to buy a home, and I am afraid that I'll end up in foreclosure.
It is a bad time to buy a home, and I'm afraid I'm going to end up in foreclosure.
That you're in foreclosure?
No, that
You're
you're
going to go in foreclosure?
Yeah, because it's a bad time to buy.
I
Because
know,
prices
I
are
was trying
too
to make sure I
high.
understand what you're saying because I didn't understand it. I'm right beside you. So,
Yeah, I would say that's a myth.
Can you explain?
Yeah.
You have nice pants on today. Looks
Yeah.
Good style.
Thanks.
Style like it moves.
Like a style, like it moves. I wish you would just convert to the loafers. It'd be so much better. Anyways, yeah, that's definitely a myth because your ability to repay, which is what a bank collects all the documents for, is a lot more strict after 2008. So they're doing that to protect you. There's a reason that you have to put a certain minimum down payment, or if you're refinancing your house, you can only refinance up to 80% of the value of the house so that you're never upside down and are forced into foreclosure like people have been in the back.
Foreclosure? What does
Foreclosure?
foreclosure mean?
Foreclosure. It's a French
Are you
word.
a closer or you're a foreclosure?
It's French. Foreclosure.
Okay,
All right, what's myth
Family.
number 2?
Hang on, can we go back to that for a sec? So another part of that is like when people think the market's going down, I shouldn't buy now because I want to buy now, or the market's going up and I shouldn't buy now. You should really think about the window of the time of I guess of purchase and how long you're going to hold the property for. Mm-hmm. So if it's a primary residence and you're going to live there for 10 years, it doesn't really matter what market you're buying in. If you can buy because it's over a 10-year cycle, look at in history how much the market's gone up. If you're looking to buy, fix up, and flip, that's when you need to be paying attention to the cycles of the market. If it's a peak market or if it's trending and more of like as values go down. So as a real estate investor, you kind of want to buy when values are going down, and you want to sell obviously when they're high. So that's another myth too. I know I'm adding an extra myth, but most people always say, I don't want to buy right now because the market's going up or the market's going down. You really focus on the length of time you're going to have that property, because if you're going to keep the property for over 5 to 10 years, you're going to live out any type of cycle.
You've lived out a few cycles, eh?
More than you can imagine.
The next myth, Tom.
Myth number 2.
People think I'm not 43 is a myth. Like that, they ask me if how old are you? And 33, 34. And when I say 43, is that a myth? Am I 43 or 34?
You're 43, and I'm 27, if anybody's wondering.
Today you're 27.
Myth 2.
Myth
I
2.
need almost perfect credit to buy a home, but I can't do anything to improve my credit rating.
It's like 2 myths in one, Tom. That myth was, I need near perfect credit to buy a home, and I can't do anything to fix my credit rating. So you don't. You can get a home with as little as 500 as far as a credit score goes. 10% down. Yeah, 500 flat, 10% down.
Harry do those 500?
Harry does not. You can't buy an exotic car, but you can sure as hell buy a house. Yeah, down to 500 score. So you don't need perfect credit. And 2, working on your credit. Yeah, like your credit utilization, paying down credit cards, paying off collection accounts, things like that will vastly improve your credit. So you can 100% always work on your credit. It's like going to the gym for your body. Little tweaks here and there. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you're consistent, one day you could look like this.
I find it weird that you're using that because I haven't seen you at the gym in ages.
But I'm looking lean.
Yeah.
It's that
You are actually.
intermittent fasting.
I hate it. Makes me sick to my stomach.
I'm watching my diet.
Myth number 3. I can't get a mortgage if I've changed jobs several times in the last few years or if I'm self-employed.
If you change jobs several times, are you gonna write these myths? Do I need to say them?
You should have up on screen.
All right, perfect. So I don't need to repeat it.
Repeat it.
As far as having multiple jobs, as long as you're in the same industry, you can prove 2 years that you've been in the same industry. You
I
know,
think you should repeat it because I don't think the mic's gonna pick him up.
well, that's why he has his own mic.
Okay, sorry guys. There's a meeting here right now.
I thought the same thing you did. It's why when he
You're like, oh, is that a donut?
I almost ate it. So this is over when I get up there and.
Your coconut spread on top of it.
What was the self-employed? You can 100% get a mortgage if you're self-employed.
Fine donut.
The problem is, instead of using your like gross income from a W-2, you have to use your income after deductions. But there's a lot of things that can be added back if you have rental properties, depreciation. You just want to get those tax returns in, so that's somebody qualified to read the income can let you know what the income that you can use for your mortgage is. But being a self-employed borrower does not impede you buying a house. We do it all the time. Next myth.
Okay, myth number 4. Home ownership is too expensive and I don't have the 20% down payment needed to get a mortgage.
This is a good one.
Home ownership is not that expensive compared to renting. And you do not need 20% down to buy a house. For your primary residence, you can get a house with as little as 3%.
3 tucks?
3 tucks. 3 good ones. 3% down.
All right, myth number 5. The mortgage process is too complicated.
Well, hold on 1 sec. Can we go back to the myth we just went
Yeah,
through?
yeah.
That was myth number 4.
That was number 4?
Yeah.
What about if you're if you're a VA? Isn't that even less?
Yeah, if you're a veteran affairs.
Veteran?
A veteran.
If you're
Not
a
of the
veteran.
league, not of life, but of the military.
Okay, good.
You could
Why does it
qualify.
say affairs though? Like, what does that mean? Like, they're just part
They
of the military?
manage your affairs, yeah. Veteran affairs, the VA. Anything to do with the veterans, they handle.
It's like unbelievable programs for those
Yeah.
for that crew.
Like zero
Zero
down.
everything.
You get a house with $1.
Okay.
In certain circumstances, you got to qualify as far as like your time of service, whether you were honorably or dishonorably discharged. All that, you receive a certificate of eligibility from the VA, which you can call us. We can get it for you. Let you know what you qualify for, what
call
your
me.
funding fee would be.
Not a license.
Yeah, they could call you.
US.
You could live transfer them. Next myth.
Myth number 5. The mortgage process is too complicated and risky.
Myth number 6. Is Greg a dick? Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. I can't really argue that.
So I skipped one there.
Say it again. Myth number 5 is what?
The mortgage process is too complicated and risky.
Okay, yeah, not that complicated. There's a set of rules that you need to, or qualification factors that you need to check off for a bank to fund your loan. Those are establishing and proving your eligibility or ability to repay the loan. That's all. So they need to verify income. They need to verify your assets. They just need to make sure that everything's kosher. It's not too complicated.
Kosher.
And it's not risky.
Can you explain the myth of kosher? What is?
I actually don't know. Kosher foods? Kosher? What I use the word kosher
Does anybody
for
know
is
what
like
kosher means.
kosher?
What does kosher mean?
Kosher.
It's good. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's like status quo.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't know what the actual.
I thought it was like a Jewish. Like it's
It could be. I wasn't going to go there.
No, but I think it's like it's not pork or something like that.
Well, it's kosher foods.
Okay, I'm asking. I don't know. What
I don't know what it is either. I just know people say kosher foods.
I thought Tom would know. He looked like he would know the answer to that.
Tom.
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
1. The first meeting is satisfying the requirements of Jewish law.
We were both right.
So there we go.
Okay.
The Jewish dietary regulations.
Yeah.
I'm ready now.
And
Yeah,
the informal meeting is genuine and legitimate.
See, that was my meaning because I'm illegitimate. I'm an illegitimate child
No one knows
of
that.
yours, of your
Garrick-
illegitimate
Garrick-
child.
Garrick's never been kosher. The word's never been in a sentence with his name. Okay, sorry.
It's not complicated. It's not risky. It's not risky. So you don't need
Why do
to.
people think it's complicated?
Well, people think it's complicated because there's there's a lot that goes into it.
Mine go right there. Did you do that last night for a second?
No.
No, this morning, 2 a.m. No?
Yeah. Yeah. I had a great day, night, evening. They think that it's complicated because there's no they don't see those guidelines, so they don't know exactly what they need to fulfill or how they can fulfill it. whether they're self-employed or they have 2 years of tax income or whatever the case is. And the risk associated with it, there's really no risk. You could look into refinancing or buying a home at any time. You could back out. The buyer is extremely protected by the Consumer Federal Protection Bureau, CFPB.
Financial.
What?
Yeah, you're saying it wrong the whole time. But we had to pull the last podcast off.
Consumer Federal Protection Bureau?
Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Whatever.
What's kind of a big deal? You say it wrong every
CFPB.
single time.
CFPB. Because you all use acronyms.
We don't want to use acronyms because you don't even know what it is.
Acronyms would have just gotten right by that one. I don't even know what that was.
It's not that. But it's okay. It was a good effort.
I'm all about
The
effort.
first mistake you've ever made, dude. And I
Yeah.
didn't even know about it, so.
That's true. Minus the
I
bad
wasn't
way.
going to tell you about it. Usually I'm like all over it because the reason why I'm not all over it because I didn't know either. I'm not gonna make fun of myself.
It's not risky. You can pull out at any point.
Just the tip. What? That's more than a tip, my friend.
You can back out.
Back
You can-
out. Jesus Christ. Where's HR? Get over here.
You can rescind. You can rescind. You can rescind your mortgage.
Okay, abort.
Yeah.
Abort mission.
You can rescind your mortgage. You're extremely protected. It's not risky. If you pay any funds, you may or may not get them back depending on what it is. But we don't charge anything, so you don't have to worry about that with us.
I think the difficult part most people think is that it's time consuming or they don't have enough documents or credit worthiness or employment history. So
Yeah.
most people do. It's a lot easier to get a mortgage than you think it is. And
As long as you're legitimate. As long as you work hard. Everything's kosher. If everything's kosher. That's
you
all.
can back out at any time.
We are going to have 2 microphones the next time that we do this. Maybe. I don't know. We'll let Tom deal with that if he doesn't jump out
wish we had
this
two.
window. Yeah. Have a great day. Have a great week. If you guys have any questions, if you guys didn't notice, Greg's wearing the same pants as me. Next week we'll get him with the same shoes.
They fit better on me.
Do you guys notice anything different about Greg's face?
No, we don't. We're not going to talk about that. When it comes with black eyes, we're not going to talk about it.
Somebody talked about it.
Who?
I don't know.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day. See you guys later. Just the tip Tuesday.